So, welcome.
Hello and welcome to a video chat today about a Switch 2 exclusive at launch. Adam, first off, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks, mate. You?
Good, yeah, not too bad. So the game, as you can see, is Survival Kids. Now, you got to go and play a bit of it. So, you know, how much you get to play, what's it like? Are people going to be happy when it launches on release day? Fill us in.
I think it's quite an interesting one, actually, because while obviously everyone is very excited about the Switch 2 as a new console, as we always are for new things, there aren't a whole lot of like brand new experiences. Because when you think about it, people will be excited to play Street Fighter 6, Cyberpunk. These are not new video games. Mario Kart World obviously is an exception to that, but in terms of brand new titles, it's going to take a little while for things to come through. And Survival Kids is a Switch 2 exclusive, like you mentioned, launch exclusive. They haven't said anything other than it is a Switch 2 exclusive, and I can see that sticking for a while, because this is a game that has, at some point, having spoken to the team, they said that things changed and it became a Switch 2 exclusive where it was previously platform agnostic, and it's got stuff in it, like it's got game share, it's got game chat and all that stuff, which are Switch 2 features. It is also a very good fit for the kind of Nintendo audience if you want to be stereotypical, in that you expect this sort of vibrant, colourful, quite cute experience. It's also very collaborative. You can play it solo, and it's fine, and the game adjusts to that. But it's really designed to be played in 4-player co-op, and it is a 4-player co-op. You can play split screen, you can use game share, online, offline, all the ways, and it's really quite fun. It's like it's really accessible. So, for example, I've seen this in other games, none that I can, of course, now we're recording, think of a specific name of. But you know how if you go up and you start, say, chopping wood from a tree, and then someone else joins you, it makes that process a bit quicker. But that also balances back the other way, so that if you are playing on your own, it doesn't take the same amount of time as if there were 4-player. It's quicker. So it's like it's balanced really well. But you'll do that sort of things, like you'll chop that down, then you'll break that up into logs. And it's got all this, it's really collaborative. So there's like a shared box at your camp. And let's say that crafting box needs you to make, I don't know, I'd have to check for exact references. But for example, to make the thing you want to make, you need 4 wood and 2 stone. If you bring 3 wood carrying like that, and I bring 3 stone or whatever, and we put it all in whatever order you want, from whoever puts it in, it all counts, and it does it. So there's no sort of separation there. It is a collaborative experience. And as you essentially go around these islands, exploring, surviving, you will do things like you will get to a rock face, and you'll see a rock face, and you're like, well, I can't scale that, but there's a thing there that I can build a net. So you build like a climbing net. So you go and get your stuff, bring it to this crafting box, drop it in, it builds a net, and you go, right, off we go. You go up the net, and then you get a stamina bar appears, which you'll have seen before, because like when you're running and stuff, or carrying heavy stuff. Yeah. And you'll climb it, and then you'll realise, I can't make this. So you go off, and you get loads of fruit, chuck it in a cooking pot. Again, it's a collaborative experience. You can all just chuck the fruit in the pot, and then it pops out like 4 to 6 foods for you to eat, which boosts your stamina. Now you can climb up the net. Then you get to the next thing, and then it starts to introduce puzzles, and there's throwable bombs. You can craft a fishing rod. You can craft an umbrella that lets you sort of, I don't want to keep doing Breath of the Wild comparisons, but when you jump off and you can use your glider like that to get further.
Glider,
there's a big like leaf thing that you can waft things with to push puzzles on like that. I saw 3 levels in answer to your question of what I saw. I got to play them in various manners, like online, split screen, on my own, and played a good portion of it, like a couple of a good maybe 3+ hours, because the levels have like par times, a bit like like in Overcooked or something, where you have like par times. It's like start 3 stars to get the best. They have them so you can repeat play them to try and get them, and they have like treasures you can find within the levels, which are another thing that add to that sort of collecting. It's a really adorable game. Like, it's also one of those games where I don't know about you, but the game chat stuff, I know there's been like a lot of sort of mirth about it. Wow, Nintendo are doing a thing that But it's one of the first times I've played it and gone, actually, I can see this working, you know. Like, we've had discussions about how the idea of game chat might work if you play Mario Kart and you throw a blue shell at someone or a red shell and you see them on the camera on the bottom of the screen, and it's that... This has got a bit of that as well, because not everyone can be in the same room to play a 4-player co-op game. I mean, I'd argue not many people can.
No.
So I do think this is a good usage of that. I really enjoyed it. There's a few elements of it that I need to see more of. Like it feels right. You know, when you play it in the hand, it feels smooth. It runs well. Interestingly, I don't know that people are aware of this, but obviously it's a Konami published title. But it's actually developed by Unity, like, you know, the engine Unity.
Oh, okay.
It's the first game that Unity has developed, like, from start to finish. They've helped as a team with other projects, and they were saying in our interview that they were talking about how it's interesting to see bits of that. You know, they sort of come in and do a bit of the process and then they back out. This is theirs from start to finish. And they said as much as that is a great thing for us because it's a creative endeavour, it also means that we can really push the switch and go, right, this thing runs at 60 FPS. It handles, you know, high resolution, blah, blah, blah. They know it can do that. Game share works. You know, they've been able to test all this themselves. And I couldn't test game share and game chat, but like the actual game itself, I have to be honest, I really enjoyed it. It's not like breaking new ground as such, but it is a unique experience in that it is really collaborative and cooperative, and I can see that you could play it with kind of anyone. Like you and I could play it, but you could play it with your kids as well, and you wouldn't have a worst experience. You'd have a different experience. It looks lovely, sounds lovely. Some of the puzzles, do you know, it's always my yardstick for a puzzle game is like Portal. You know how you have to almost come back to it again, and then you solve it and you feel like the cleverest person in the world. Like there was a puzzle where we knew what we had to do. Like you could see visually, right? This is what we need to craft it. But there's a log. It needs a log, and there's no trees up there. So how do I get the log up there? And basically, what it was is you crafted a fishing rod. You had to cast the fishing rod off and wind to pull the log up. And I solved that, and I was like, rather clever feeling, like, you know, it is like, oh, it's got like a good physics engine underpinning it. You know, like there's puzzles where you have to, like, again, a log, like you chuck it into the river and it flows down the river, so you can pick it up the other end, or your co-op partner can pick it up. It's clever. It's simplistic looking, and it isn't easy to pick up. There's not like a lot going on the controller. But it's clever. There's thought gone into it, you know. It's really impressive. And for a launch title, I think it should do quite well. I hope it gets people playing it. Yeah,
well, it seems to fit into the Nintendo kind of theme of you know, collaborative, you know, for everyone, fun. So should be.
It reminds me a
bit
of. Do you remember Snipperclips for the first Switch on launch day? How it was like this kind of completely different thing to all the other things.
Yeah.
It feels like that. It feels like the kind of. I don't want to overhype it because I'm not sitting here being like it blew me away, you know. But it was just really good fun. But it feels like the kind of where everyone's going to be playing Mario Kart World. This feels like the kind of alternative launch title because it's original, although it is a reimagining. It's an original game. It's not a port, you know. So June 5th.
Yeah, awesome.
You know?
Yeah, brilliant. Well, you can go and read more of Adam's thoughts on this on Loot Level Chill. If you'd like to continue watching our videos and supporting us, you can click the like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel, or you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/lootlevelchill. Support us and help us continue to grow. Adam, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
And we'll speak to you soon. See you soon. Bye bye.
Fantastic work. Let's get that Harmony Stone back to the lighthouse, pack up, and let's get everyone out of here.